John Moret, and I just realized that I actually had something come up in me for a video today. I didn't think I was gonna do one. Really late at night. Anyway, but I remembered a conversation I had about self-esteem with one of my friends. I'm 35. I'm an old lady, and my self-esteem is pretty darn good now. Not because I've accomplished anything, not because I've done right, or because I'm super beautiful, or because there's no. It's just as you age, right? You realize that this whole self-esteem notion, right? I need to raise my self-esteem so I can feel better about myself and take better care of myself. There's no such thing as self-esteem. Self-esteem is a total crock of shit. Like, well, basically, if you're feeding yourself, if you're taking care of yourself, if you're like looking both ways before you cross the street, your self-esteem is fine. Like there might be something missing, in the way that you take care of yourself. But this notion of self-esteem is actually very destructive. Well, if I just had higher self-esteem, it's a fucking concept. Self-esteem is a fucking concept. We're animals, and we're somewhat predatory animals, as in, we do what we need to do to get our needs met. And nowhere in nature do we see self-esteem anywhere. Like even when the ape is beating his chest, it's not self-esteem per se. He's in the moment, and this whole thing is so fucking stupid. Nobody needs to work on their self-esteem. Just the concept of having to work on your self-esteem is fucking idiotic. Like, if you're here, if you're alive, if you're doing things in order to keep living, your self-esteem is fucking fine. So the only advice I have is like, get your sleep, water, sugar, your hydration, your good sleep, get all your calories, 2,500 calories minimum a day. Go for a frugivore lifestyle, frugivore, vegan, eat a lot of fresh food, and you'll feel amazing. And get enough calories, you'll feel amazing. That's the only thing about self-esteem is like if you're not feeding yourself, that could be an issue, right? But for the most part, self-esteem is just a stupid concept. It's fucking retarded. They use it to sell books. Books on how to raise your self-esteem. People don't need that. Oh, God. It's so boring. It's so boring to have low self-esteem and you're buying books to work on your self-esteem. I'm going to raise my self-esteem. Self-esteem is just a stupid-ass concept. It doesn't mean anything. As long as you're taking care of your human body and you're, like, actually paying attention to your own needs, you can just dispose of the notion completely. Also, for young women, it's very, very important that we have idols to look at that look like us. And this is something that many, many really intuitive and awesome people have talked about. So if you are, if you're short and you're fat and you have dark hair, find yourself a celebrity or a model who's short and fat and has dark hair. Or find someone whose face looks like yours or whatever. But you gotta find someone in mass media, someone who gets a lot of attention, who looks like you. And if you look at pictures of them, you'll feel better. It's just a matter of fact. It's a matter of fact. Whatever is in our media, whatever we look at, whatever is inside the Hollywood, the magic sphere of attention, right? If we can look like something that gets the magic sphere of attention, or exists inside the magic sphere of attention, we're gonna feel naturally better about ourselves, our body, and our type of female or whatever. So this is something really key. Find examples of people that you want to be like, and people that you already, are in your sort of, like your physical, you find role models that look like you physically, find role models that resemble what you want to look like mentally and emotionally and professionally. Always really important to have a lot of good mentors. And of course, with females, some of those are going to be physical, but be careful who you're looking at. I got the idea that certain drugs were really good because I knew that my idols were doing them and things like that. And really, it's all a bunch of rubbish. Find good role models for yourself. But anyway, this whole thing about self-esteem, it's just another section of the bookstore. Self-esteem, self-improvement, all that. It's just a couple hundred assholes who have written books because they thought they had low self-esteem or whatever. But self-esteem is not even a thing. It's not even a thing. Just get out in nature and enjoy yourself, enjoy your life, enjoy nature, and you don't even need to worry about self-esteem. I mean, what is that? What is that? How you esteem yourself? Well, if you're young and you don't have a bunch of accomplishments or a bunch of life experience, then the esteem you have for yourself might not be super high, or super all-encompassing. But that's totally natural. You don't necessarily need some sort of huge ego structure. We have a pretty big ego structure throughout our entire lives. It's formed when we're very small. I'm sure you have enough ego structure. Just disregard that whole notion. Anyway, so yeah, as long as you're like looking both ways while you cross the street, protecting yourself, putting on your safety belt in the car, and and feeding yourself good food, and respecting your boundaries, like, you're good. You're good. You don't need to hang on to this made up notion of like, well, there's something called self-esteem and mine's really low and I need to get it higher. It's not a pump, it's not a valve. It's a fucking concept, and you don't even have to honor that. You don't even have to jive with that. When you're a young person, it's just another thing that you're supposed to have, and maybe you do, and maybe you don't, and you're gonna judge yourself for it. Well, that's the problem. It's not self-esteem. The problem is self-judgment. It's like, well, I know I'm supposed to feel this way, and I really feel this way. Fuck all that. Feel exactly the way you feel, But your value for yourself does not necessarily go up, just because you look a certain way. That's the thing. That's the thing about all these different plastic surgeries, and even with some of the people that get extensive plastic surgery in order to change sexes and things like that. And everyone thinks that once I just look a certain way, I'm going to feel a certain way. You can feel a certain way without fucking looking a certain way. And it might take a little bit more time, but it's like the difference between going on a mountain and meditating for 30 days in silence and having a bunch of insights. It's the difference between that and just like popping a pill. Like, this whole ridiculous notion of this is what self-esteem is and you should have a certain amount of it and you don't. It's all just a bunch of concepts, a bunch of rubbish, really. You can do what you want to do and take care of yourself however you want to take care of yourself. And why not, have a beautiful life that you want to live and live it the way you want to live it, right? So basically, I'm giving you permission to feel really, really awesome about yourself. To ask, how did I get so beautiful? How did I get so lucky? How did I get so fortunate? How did I get so intelligent? How did I get so mature for my age? Whatever qualities you think are great. How did I get so blank, blank, blank? This is a way to feel really good. Self-esteem is not important. Feeling good is important. All right, with that, I'll say goodbye. Have a good night. And remember, like and subscribe. Ask me any questions you wish, and I will respond to them as soon as possible with a video. All right. Good night, ladies. Bye.